Hello guys, my name is Saurabh and this is my 3D printer setup. I got a request to make a video of this, the latest one, because I made some upgrades to this and I just wanted to show those upgrades to everybody here. So this is the enclosure that I have for my 3D printer, and there are two compartments. The first one on the top that you see is the filament chamber, which is humidity controlled and temperature controlled as well. Right now I don't have an active heater in this because I'm waiting for the heater to arrive from Banggood. We do have the silica beads in these towers on which these octopuses are sitting. So we've got silica beads inside, they maintain the humidity inside, and we've got a meter here which is at 31%, which is okay, not that bad. 27.5 is the temperature inside this compartment. We've got some samples and toys built in there, sitting there. These are my latest builds. Okay, and we've got some space at the back as well where we can keep silica or maybe some spares or tools or whatever you like. We've got 4 spools on the top, and they've got independent entry into the compartment below. And this is where the printer is sitting at the bottom. This is the bottom chamber. This is the printing chamber. So we've got the Ender 3V2 sitting there. We've got an E3D extruder on it, and this is a direct drive. We've got the auxiliary power supply, which actually is just for the enclosure. I installed the heavy duty one, which is about 350 watts. The reason was I'm going to be using an active heater, which is about 200 watts. So I wanted to have a fairly decent supply. And we got Octoprint, we've got Raspberry Pi running Octoprint, and we've got those 4 channel servos which are controlled by the Octoprint. We've got a humidity meter, temperature meter here as well. And this is the active heating setup, which I'm going to be installing on the top here. So I'll have to drill some holes and take the wires from here to the top chamber. That's my printer monitor. And let me just open it and give you a peek inside. So this is how it looks from the inside. We've got a camera here. This is a Raspberry Pi camera. This is a 5 megapixel camera. And we also have another camera which is sitting right here. This is Fingers, full HD camera. Amazing camera, beautiful output. And this is sitting on the top looking at the bed. And so we get actually two outputs of videos. And what else do we have here? That's the regular stuff. We've got some wiring at the back. That's the extension board. That's the power distribution, and the wiring is all done. I think it's pretty neat. You see these cables here? They're gonna go into the slot right next to the power supply, and they're gonna go up from here. And I'll have to drill some holes here, and they're gonna pass through that. We've got an active fan there, so that's the exhaust. And this is how it looks from the outside. That's the exhaust. And this exhaust is controlled by this switch, a 4-channel relay switch, which is triggered by Octopi. And let's see, what else do we have? That's the entire setup that I have. That's more about it. Yeah, okay. So this is where the filament comes in from the top. So right now I have the PETG, Eason PETG coming in. And similarly I have the entry for the PLA and the other 3 spools. These are the covers for it. So once you remove the covers, you will have the filament inside, and we can pull it from here and just feed it into the extruder. Now let's have a look at the Octoprint interface that I have. This is the Octoprint interface on my laptop. As you see, I have one camera here. Now this one is the Raspberry Pi webcam. So we have another camera here. If you just click in here, and that's the second webcam, so we can monitor the bills from here. We've got some plugins here for the bed, the tool, and for the CPU as well. Then if we go down, we got the bed visualizer. Then we have the this is the resource monitor, so we can see how much of processor is being used on the Octoprint. Currently we're using about 8%, which is nothing. Then we have the temperature, we have the memory. Now I have a 2 GB Raspberry Pi 4 and the utilization is bare minimum. It's about 1.1 GB, which is like, it hardly goes up to 0.5 even when it's printing. So 2 GB is more than enough for a Raspberry Pi to run the Octoprint. Then we have the wireless LAN and everything, so of course it's transmitting the video, that's why we have some consumption here. That's the Octolapse, that's the terminal window. We have the controller for the servos, for the relays. This is the EEPROM editor, yeah. And then we have the G-code analyzer, and that's about it. I mean, that's the end of it. So that's more or less, you know, that's what I have on this setup. And in case if you have any questions, queries, or need any help, I'll be more than happy to help. This is my test setup, by the way, and this is exactly the same replica of what I have in the Enclosure. So this is an extra Raspberry Pi, but this one is 4 GB, and we have the servo switches, the relay switches. We've got two webcams. One is a Raspberry Pi webcam camera, the other one is a webcam USB. And if you see here, we've got the Octoprint main, which is this side, and we've got the testing server as well. So this is for the test. So all the experiments that you want to do. Oh, okay, it's showing my video feed. Okay, and it's got two cameras again. So this one is the USB camera, this one is the Raspi cam. We have the same setup as of the production, as in the live server. So this is I made this just for testing, and in case if I want to experiment with plugins and, you know, probably some tweaking and all, I can do it on this and then replicate on the live system. So that's the setup that I have, guys. So all the best, and good luck to everybody, and bye-bye. Thank you.